Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And Matt.
And I have a hot cup of Covfefe. My name is Landon Doe.
Oh, dude, you're stomping all over where I was headed because I wanted to say, welcome back to Nerd News Covfefe.
You couldn't even do it.
I can't even do it, so I guess it's better.
That's so distraught from his.
That's why I
you
stole the
threw
joke.
me off, man.
I got in there
Dang
with the
it.
first Covfefe joke, so, trendsetter.
I even said it on Twitter. We were potentially rebranding. I was setting it up for this intro.
Oh.
No News Covfefe.
Can we redo it?
I don't know. You're the one that edits this.
It's fine.
Can we redo it?
So it is episode 48. Welcome back. It is June the 4th, our first episode of June, and I want to say happy 1 year anniversary to Nerd News Covfefe.
Yay! Balloons! So what did you get us?
We got a nice table full of drinks,
Oh, okay.
and since I've forgotten them the last two times, why don't we kick it off and celebrate with the drinks that are on the table? So I'm going to start it off because I don't know if you even know what you got. 'Cause you
I
drank
do.
it
I
all.
remember it.
Oh, okay.
I remember it.
All right. I'm going to tell you, I got a nice Green Mountain variety pack from the store. So there's a lot of options out there for people that want a K-Cup here when they arrive at the palatial Nerd News Cafe studios. I went with Tully's Hawaiian blend.
Oh.
And it is delicious.
He Monolala likes it.
I really do.
Oh, God.
I really do.
Yes.
Hawaiian, it's international.
That's right. International.
So which one did you pick, Matt?
I got the Green Mountain vanilla caramel.
Oh, really?
Or
Did
caramel,
you like
as
that
I
one?
like to say. Yeah, it was pretty good. I put a lot of hazelnut creamer in it because I'm not a big fan of just straight black coffee. So
Oh, yep.
So it was a caramel coffee, and you put creamer-
hazelnut.
that's all he had. I didn't know where the sugar was, and you guys were talking. I was like, "Well, this is going to be sugar now."
And that turned out okay for you?
Yeah, I like hazelnut.
That's kind of like a coffee suicide.
It's delicious. It leaves this little tang in the back of your throat.
And I'm drinking the best. The best hot drink a $1.08 can get you, Mick Cafe.
Yeah, that's
from
been your
McDonald's.
standard. That's
Yeah.
your standby on a Sunday
Pretty
morning.
sure
Yeah,
we
'cause-
need some McDonald's dollars now.
Hey,
We need to get those dollars back.
McDonald's give us stuff, but I
us
mean,
stuff.
if y'all are making me podcasts before it's acceptable
drinking
to drink, I'm gonna have to keep drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Who made those rules? Because I almost brought a beer myself. I was like, this grapefruit shandy I've got down there looks
Hey,
delicious.
as Alan Jackson said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's exactly right.
He and Jimmy Buffett together decided that.
I'm pretty sure that the clocks on wherever Jimmy Buffett lives.
Margaritaville.
Does he really live in Margaritaville? He doesn't
Of
live
course,
there.
everywhere he goes is Margaritaville.
That is true. Yeah.
Those clocks don't move. That's probably one of his demands when he comes into a town. All clocks will stay 5.
I'm pretty sure when you go to a Margaritaville, the clocks are on 5 o'clock. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it is.
I do not doubt that. I won't even research it because I totally believe it.
Yeah.
Just like Doug Benson only does shows at 4:20.
4:20.
So.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, he says 4:20-ish.
Yeah, 4:20-ish, because I mean it's Doug Benson. So
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a guy that gets places
He's
on time.
well, he's a little busy directly at 4:20.
exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
I totally get that. I mean,
like,
it's
I can't-
part of the gimmick.
Yep.
He's like, oh, I'd really like to be there, but
That's a strange time to go to a show.
It is.
That'd
It
be
really
tough on a
is.
weekday, but
It's like, and especially if you have to cut out, take a half day from your boss. But boss, I got to get out at lunch. Why? Because I'm going to see a comedian at 4:12. Okay, I'm not going to say anything.
yeah, exactly. What time's the show? 4-ish.
Yeah, 4-ish.
around 4.
Yeah.
And then you show up the next day. Oh, you've randomly been selected for a drug test.
No crap. Exactly. Yeah, because of all your Facebook pictures of this 420 show.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, it looks like Landon's getting that drug test today.
All right. I want to kick today off, wrapping up on a couple topics we brought up last time. I'm going to hit it quick because I know we spent a lot of time talking about it. First, as we were leading into, by the time this episode dropped, of course, both of these things had opened. We talked about Avatar Land, we talked about Volcano Bay. Apparently, the day Volcano Bay opened, they had serious issues with their virtual queuing.
Uh-oh.
The system kept breaking down on them, and then people were saying that even when they were using the wristbands, they'd get called to ride. There was still a 30-minute wait. So
See, I knew that was gonna be the case.
obviously, there's going to have to be some testing and tweaking because
Yeah.
that is not the intention. You're not supposed to have to wait
No.
at all.
No.
So
what's the point of the band?
yeah,
Yeah.
But other things they said, like Lazy Rivers were good, Wave Pool was good. The rides were good when people got to do them, but it was just the technology. So the thing is, I feel like it's fixable.
Beta
So
testing.
so my recommendation is, if you're going to go Volcano Bay, maybe wait later in the summer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait till that August.
And then I would probably say the same thing about Pandora, and I'll tell you why. The day that it opened, if
no.
you didn't get to Animal Kingdom by 2 a.m., You had to wait 5 hours before you could even get into Pandora.
What? Wait. Be
That's
there
how
at
many people were there.
2 a.m.
Yeah,
in the
people
morning.
started lining up.
And you
2
already
a.m.
said there was a discriminatory factor on one of those rides, and the other one was just a ride. I mean, you're just
Yeah.
whoop, here you go, you're done.
Yeah, but people
could be
even
taking
just
so long?
getting into the land and exploring because they want you. Apparently,
That's true.
There's two things. Once you get into Pandora, there aren't signs or maps. Like they want you to wander around. I mean, there's maps, but you have to kind of figure it out.
Sounds like a good place to lose your kids.
But they don't have they don't have signage to like point you to the rides. You kind of just have to find your way there because they want people to walk around and explore and find stuff. So
you still think there wouldn't be that long of a ride? I
But-
mean, I'm not giving society any credit
Yeah.
on this. If you've ever seen anybody in a Walmart, they wander for hours.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. They
So-
just kind of graze in between the aisles.
So I'm sure it was like a safety issue. They couldn't let more people in there than could
that's
move
true.
around.
That's true.
So
I
if
forgot
people
about
weren't
that.
if people were lingering and not getting out of the area, they had just had to hold people out.
Wow.
So
That's
anyway,
bad.
again, you might want to wait till the end of summer when that kind of wears down.
You might want to wait on that Labor Day time.
Or
I-
just go ride Expedition Everest.
Exactly.
Because clearly there is not a wait there.
Oh
right
God!
now.
if everybody's in line for Pandora Everest, you could have just chained
Now,
it.
see,
Yeah, just
that's-
keep
Don't
it
get
going.
up.
Keep it going.
That's the kind of app I need because I hate lines. That's why I don't go. I hate them. I hate waiting. I hate having to deal with 100 people I don't care about.
Yep.
I need an app. Developers, I need an app that's like everybody's here. Go there.
Oh, that exists.
Does
I'm
it?
gonna plug it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's called touringplans.com.
Okay.
And there's a couple things you can do with it. We used it when we went to Disney several years ago, and I can tell you from that experience it works, but you have to tweak it a little bit. But here's a couple things you can do. There's a Lines app that will tell you real time, not the Disney posted time,
Right.
the actual posted
Oh, see,
time.
that's better.
For every single ride. I mean, the actual wait time. So because Disney tends to, if they know...
Embellish.
Yeah, they want to inflate it because that discourages people from getting in line. Plus, it increases satisfaction. If you think the wait is 2 hours, but you wait one, oh, you're like, hey,
we're ahead of schedule.
yeah, great.
Yeah.
So that there's a couple things they do there, but the Lines app tells you 100% what the wait actually is, and then here's the other thing you can do: the day you're going to the park, you tell it everything you want to do. You say optimize, and it's like, here's your plan. This will minimize your wait time throughout the day.
That's awesome. Wow.
And it's like, go to this, go to this, go to this. The problem is you there's a couple sliders. One is minimize walking or minimize waiting.
Oh.
So if you minimize walking, it'll try to optimize you through areas. Here's my mistake when I took my family.
You hit both sliders.
No, I did minimize weight, and I totally ignored the walking thing. And what it will do to
Oh,
you
gosh.
is it will send you back and forth across the park.
Shoot.
So you will put in way more walk. You're already going to walk a ton at Disney. You'll put in way more because you're going to cross the park several times. So basically, I caused several breakdowns for my family because I was hey, we weren't wait. I'll tell you, we went in October when Food and Wine Fest was at Epcot. Crowds were pretty big. We didn't have to wait more than 10, 15 minutes for anything we did because we used our fast passes and we were going where it told us to go at the time. Because you do it real time throughout the day. You're like, yep, I did this. And it's like, okay. And you can optimize throughout the day.
You just keep hitting
It's
that
using
button.
real time data. And it's like, hey, this one we told you to go to next was Soarin'. Instead of that, go do Test Track.
You need to drop that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, that sounds like a game changer when it comes to that stuff. What does it do to your battery, though? Because I
it's,
remember
it's really not bad.
Really, because
Yeah.
I remember the Disney app itself that they encourage you to use while you're
Yeah.
in the park. It's like that thing
Oh.
just destroyed my battery.
Here's what I'll say about apps that burn batteries. It's not the downloading, it's the uploading because they're uploading
Yeah.
your data consistently. It's like, where are they at? They're doing your location. They're doing, what you have done, where you have been.
Yeah.
They try to resource like your personal information, stuff like that. Did you sign up for an account?
Yep.
That they use that to probably for the data he's talking about on the app. He's
Oh
got.
yeah, they do.
All the old
you
people
can-
are soaring. Go
because after you get off a ride, all
Yeah.
the people that use it, you can tell it how long you waited for the ride. So it's using
That's amazing.
people who use the app. It's amazing. I was actually talking the other day.
That's a really cool app.
If in another lifetime, I could see myself being like a statistician and working on stuff like this because it amazes me the things you can do with data. Like it's incredible. Anyway,
What a nerd.
I know. I am. Hey, listen. I'm
Stat nerd.
Listen, I'm an accountant. I make no qualms about the fact that I am a nerd. But anyway,
No, that's really cool. So is
touring-
that just for Disney or is that for...
they have it for Universal too.
See, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So plug touringplans.com, and actually one of the guys behind that app is on a podcast called the Unofficial Guide series, and I highly recommend you look it up.
Cool.
So yeah, it's very cool. But anyway, I want to say everything I heard, while lines were crazy, crowds were crazy, everything was working fine in Pandora.
Okay.
So all
Sounds
of
like it
all
didn't
the
really have a
tech
chance
and
to
everything.
break down.
Yeah. But that's a lot of use.
Yeah, true.
Seriously.
That's a real stress test.
That still blows my mind. You had to be there at 2 a.m.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
Otherwise,
There's
you're
no
looking
way.
at a 5-hour wait.
There's no way. There's no way I would do that for anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I might do it for Star Wars.
I was about to say, it's like, I don't
would
even
do
know.
that.
Like,
would.
I would consider it, but that's a hard sell.
You wait, now if there was a Star Trek land being built at Universal, you wouldn't want to be first in line to do that
No,
stuff?
no,
Really?
because exactly what you said. There's problems.
Well,
I don't buy the first of anything. The phone I have is the first time I've ever done that, and it has not been the greatest of things. I mean, the phone works great. It was the experience that went around
Yeah.
it, but I just don't like first of anything because
Yeah.
I feel like it's buggy.
yeah, that's true. But here's one more thing I want to say. So I talked about this earlier about how the Tower of Terror in Disney's California Adventure was being rebranded to a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. And I was, at the time, I was crossing my little fingers and hoping they didn't do that to Orlando's Tower of Terror. Now, it sounds like they consider the Tower of Terror in Orlando to be kind of a sacred cow. It's not getting touched.
Okay.
But the one in California Adventure has been converted. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. I watched some video, and of course that doesn't really give you the full experience, but I have been reading reviews, just like I did for Pandora and Volcano Bay. People are saying that this ride now is one of the best rides Disney has opened in like 15 years.
Wow.
Because
I wonder why.
it's the use of the characters. I actually was hearing a little bit about how James Gunn actually shut down production on Volume 2 so that he could, for a couple of days, dedicate the crew to helping them shoot all the scenes.
That's nice to have
Wow.
production level type people on a ride.
Yeah, so it's like they have all the real characters except Rocket. The voiceover is not Bradley Cooper. I don't know why.
You know what? Let's go ahead and check mark that with Marvel Omega too. It's a British guy.
Yeah. So, but anyway, people are they love it, and it's a totally different thing. Now the Tower of Terror in Orlando, the elevator actually like comes out of the shaft and goes down the hallway. The one in California Adventure never did that. It stays in the shaft and just goes up and down. But basically, what happens is the story is you're at the collector's hideout headquarters, and the Guardians have been collected, and you're trying to help them break out of the collection. So everything about it, from the queue into the ride, is all building the story of it, showing you all the things. Like
that's cool.
even things like when you're going through the queue, you actually see things the collector has collected from Disneyland, like the Matterhorn Yeti and different things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and so so you get in there, and Rocket has broken out, and he's like, "I need your help. We're going to overload this power system, and we're going to let everybody, do all this stuff." As soon as it starts, it's just up, down, up. Down. You're free falling. You're shooting up. It stops on different floors, does the little vignettes, and then you're back to it. One of the big gags at the end, of course, they send you all the way up to the top, open the elevator doors, and Rocket goes, "Is that Disneyland?"
That's pretty good.
But anyway, and it's got a rockin' soundtrack because that's Guardians of the
yeah.
Galaxy's MO. It has like I think 4 or 5 different ride routines that you could potentially get. So
nice.
Each time you ride it, it could be different. So anyway. Good job on that, Disney. I just want to say I will be at some point. I'm going to be headed back to California. Because the thing is, this is supposed to be the centerpiece of what they're opening in California Adventure, which is Marvel Land. There's going to be a Captain America coaster. There's going to be character experiences, a bunch of different things. So, and I've heard maybe like a Tony Stark Tech Expo potentially, something like that.
That could be fun.
So anyway.
That would be cool to hook it. They don't have a Tomorrowland, do they?
They do at
That would
Disneyland.
be cool to
they
hook
have
it into
Tomorrowland.
it. Not necessarily take it over, but like you go from that and then you can fall into Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, Disney Imagineers have always said, I mean, like back in the day when Tomorrowland first came about, it was like, yeah, look at all this technology. But anytime you base something on quote unquote real life technology,
Potential future.
yeah,
technology.
eventually the future is going to look really dated. And I mean, maybe tying it into a Tony Stark thing, you could keep it looking quote unquote futuristic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not a bad idea, but it's interesting because I was in the same boat with you. It's like, do not touch Tower of Terrors. It's one of the best rides Disney has.
I'm wearing my Tower of Terror shirt today.
But after hearing what you just said about
I don't think you can lose with Guardians. Guardians, I think, touches on 2 things we love, which is adventure and nostalgia. And
Yeah.
I mean, they bond well. And then, to add it to a ride that's kind of already built and you just got to make new concepts for it.
Yeah.
And then I guess pulling in production people from the freaking movie didn't hurt
Yep.
either.
that's
So
really cool.
So there you go. Now we can move on to some headlines and stuff. I just wanted to kind of recap a couple things that we had talked about previous week, and I'm feeling good about where our theme parks are headed just in general. So let's get to some news of the week. I know one of the things we wanted to talk about today was a big game release Friday the 13th came out.
Yeah.
And I know we've seen some videos. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And also one of our listeners, Mr. Thomas, has been playing the game, told us a little bit about it. So what have you guys been hearing so far?
I mean, from what I understand, it's brutal. I mean, we talked about the brutality of it, but now that people have actually been able to get into it, as far as like survival is a must. If you're not Jason, which I've heard getting Jason is very random and very rare. I guess with everybody on there, I think we were talking earlier. I guess you can build skills with your campers. You've got objects that you're not just in there for fodder. You're not just going to get and be lambs to the slaughter of whatever Jason feels like doing to you.
You just dropped a rhyme. That was a fat rhyme.
Yeah, what boy?
MC Matty Weave over here.
So. I like that. I mean, it sounds cool that you can just you have something to do as the camper instead of just run around to be gutted. So you've got to get gas and keys and a car and get out. And,
as a counselor, there are a couple ways you can survive. You can get gas and a battery, and you can escape and keys. If you can find the keys and the car, you can escape in the car. If you find gas and a propeller and the boat, you can escape by water through a boat.
Nice.
You can. I think I've seen you can rewire phone lines and call out to the cops, and then you have to wait like 5 minutes.
Oh gosh!
And then the cops will show up, and if you can run to the front of the camp and get past a certain point, and the cops will rescue you. There's a walkie-talkie you can use to call Tommy, one of the characters from the Friday the 13th franchise, who comes and hunts Jason. One of the previous players who's already died turns into Tommy, who has one shotgun shell who can kill Jason. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, wow. So somebody who's already died can, I guess,
I like that.
hunt.
I didn't know
hunter.
that concept. That's a cool concept.
And there is cool stuff, cool ideas in this game. This was a kickstarted game by people who really love the Friday the 13th franchise, and you can tell because down to the sounds, down to the location.
Well, they had problems. They had a thought. I think what I originally read about it is that they didn't know that they could get the rights to it. So I think it was called Slasher or something crazy. And then I guess the people who own the IP of it were like, no, that's cool.
Yeah,
whatever you want to do, sounds awesome.
Yeah, this started as a unofficial Friday the 13th game because, like you said, they didn't think they could get the license, but then whoever owns Friday the 13th stepped up and said, yeah, you can use it. So,
that's awesome.
Skins, you can unlock different skins for Jason. And each Jason has different abilities. But, these are Jasons you've seen in the different Friday the 13th movies. Like I said, the sounds, the
I heard that is frightening.
It is because as a counselor, I haven't played the game. I've only seen a couple videos.
Yeah,
and it's
that's what I've watched.
It's like, as a counselor, that's the only way you know if Jason's around is if he's around you, he'll
man.
I would lose my mind.
And he has abilities where he can teleport behind you and in
teleport.
front of you. So it's like, if you hear Jason, you're screwed. Just,
dead.
Yeah, exactly. Just make peace with whatever deity you believe in and hope you get to be Jason in the next round.
I love everything that I've heard about the concepts and the early things we've heard about the gameplay. But speaking of openings, it was a bit of a rough opening for them.
Yeah,
right?
and it's not necessarily anything wrong with the game itself. The biggest complaint that I've seen online has been with the servers and the matchmaking. Yeah. Again, I made reference, I haven't played the game, I've only seen videos, but in the video that I watched, I think it took them 15 minutes to find that initial matchup, and their matchmaking process, it even went into a cooldown process because it had been searching for a game for so long.
Wow.
But I will say, once you get in that game, it does try to keep the group together, so you don't have these 15, 20-minute waits in between games. Once you find an initial group, it seems like, unless half the group just drops out, it's going to be a fairly quick turnaround on the next match.
It rotates you through with that group. It's kind of Overwatch style.
Yeah. It's already put together the pieces it needs to play the game. So let's just keep all the pieces together and shuffle them up.
Yeah, there's already a good horror community. So to have a horror game community, I think would be easy to find too.
Well, and especially in a game like this, like I said, it's a kickstarted game, so this is literally horror fans putting their money where their mouth is.
Exactly. It's like you already invested like I did. Let's play together kind of thing. So that's cool.
I have a question. I haven't looked into it quite as much as what you guys have this weekend, but is it possible to set up a group, a party, and join the game all together like you can do with Battlefront?
I believe it is possible.
I saw that.
Yeah, you can have a private group, and then you can queue up for a group or for a game as
that'd
a
be
group.
hilarious.
That would be fun.
That would be funny. Thinking about it, I was like, man, that would be.
Now, I don't think there's any local co-op, so
Right.
it would be one of those things where
You all have to have
I think
your
you
own
need the whole
system,
screen,
TV.
though.
that is true.
If
yeah.
I'm a counselor, I need the whole screen.
Dude, I've already been thinking about this because we know how the trend is. Local co-op is kind of a thing of it's gone the way of the dodo. We rarely get a good local co-op game, especially when it comes to like MMO type stuff.
Yeah.
So I've already been thinking. I haven't told my wife this yet, but I've been thinking. If we had a TV in here,
Don't listen,
a
Justin's
TV,
wife.
and I could actually maybe put 2 TVs on opposite ends of the
There you go.
living room. We could have 3 systems, and we could get some serious co-op going.
That's
in
right.
There you go. As somebody who has 2
a LAN
TVs
party.
in his room for that exact purpose, that's what's up.
Yep.
I think there's a
I'm
concept
sure my
there.
kids would be cool with it.
A
Absolutely.
LAN landing party.
A land
I like that.
party.
A land.
The LAN done party.
Oh God! Now we're just trying too much.
Well,
I will
We got add another hashtag to the repertoire. We need to keep a running list of these hashtags. I'm gonna have to put something out
Yeah,
there.
we've had hashtag Krogan Boner. We've had my hashtag Jams with a Z.
hashtag GhostYobi.
Yeah,
Ghostyobi. Hashtag banana hammocks.
Oh yeah, don't forget the banana hammocks. How could we forget the
nice.
banana?
There's a
hammocks?
lot of good ones. We're gonna have to put a scoreboard out there.
Or someone can do it for us.
Yeah,
Just saying.
We like that. But you made reference. This is a brutal game. This is a brutal game.
Oh, the deaths
Like-
are unsightly sometimes.
The way these counselors just get mutilated. Like, I made reference to, like, you can call Tommy the Jason Hunter.
Yeah.
And one of the games that I watched, Jason caught Tommy and knocked Tommy to the ground, macheted off his right arm, macheted off his left arm. So there he is, an armless torso screaming on the ground, and then macheted to the head. And it shows a whole lot of blood, too.
Oh,
So this is a very graphic game, obviously rated M for mature. So, your middle schoolers probably shouldn't play this. Though I will say on one of the videos I watched, this group was playing with what sounded like a group of like 10 to 13-year-olds who didn't know what the Friday the 13th
I had to explain it to my
license
son.
was.
Yeah. I had to explain to my son.
So
He
they
goes-
just called Jason Killer Man.
Killer Man.
Yeah, and like it was so funny.
Run for the Killer Man.
These little 10-year-olds running, screaming from Jason was so funny. On YouTube, it's
Isn't
the
that the first
Laser
movie?
Time Network. It's their gameplay of Friday the 13th. Give it a look. Give it
We
a
need to
watch.
check
It's
that out.
so
Oh,
funny.
absolutely. Well, my son was like, "Who's this Friday the 13th guy?" And I do you know how hard it is to explain what happened without really getting into detail of how he died? I was
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Well, the counselors are kind of busy doing things that they probably shouldn't have been doing, and then he drowned. And then I think the first one, his mom came back and killed
Yep.
everybody, and then his
was
ghost
Jason's mom.
arose, and then he's been to New York, and he's been to space.
Don't forget, he's been to hell.
and he's been to hell. I'd say him
And Manhattan.
well, the
Oh, you
worst,
said New York.
It's like a black hole too, because I was like, well, then he ends up being like with Freddy Krueger. Who's Freddy Krueger? Okay, Freddy Krueger's this
God.
nightmare guy who's like this pedophile that got burnt in a boiler, and then he comes back in people's nightmares. And my son's face just gets more white and more white. He's like, are these people real? I was like, no, this is horrible fiction.
Yes.
I've got to tell you that hearing this story makes me feel like a bad parent because both of my kids know who all of these people are because I've showed them the movie.
Oh,
there you go. I mean,
I don't think it has anything to do with it. It has to do with my son's ability to not dramatize visions in his own head. I mean, he used to sleep with the hall light, his bedroom light, his closet light, and had a night light on beside him because all corners of his room needed to be shown.
And just in case any ships were coming by in the middle of the night,
Exactly.
they needed a light.
That's right. Three of by air.
Oh yeah, one by land, two by sea.
Two of by sea. He was 3, so I don't know what that meant.
That's
Underground?
sky, I guess.
The sky or
Exactly,
underground.
But
So
it just blows my mind that it's like the younger generation doesn't know what Friday the 13th is, doesn't know what Nightmare on Elm Street is. But if you think about it, like the last Jason movie we got was Freddy versus Jason, right?
oh my gosh, that was so long ago too.
And it's
Early
like-
2000s.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there a remake? There was a Friday the 13th remake.
Was there? It's like, I know there was a Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
I was thinking that there was.
You might be right. I'm sure the people who are listening to the Friday the 13th game review here are screaming.
Yeah, Kane Hodder is screaming into his iPod.
What are you doing?
Shout out to Kane Hodder.
He's a nice guy, I heard.
He is. He's a very nice guy.
For being as big as he is.
Seriously, and for being
Gentle John.
Yeah,
fucking Jason.
2009, Friday the 13th.
You're almost talking 10 years.
Written by
Holy wow.
Damian Shannon and Mark Swift
Nice.
and directed by Marcus Nispel. It was a reboot of the film series, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I knew I was thinking that there was a remake. Yeah.
Sure.
It was produced by Michael Bay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So there was doves and explosions.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Jason, instead of killing people with machetes, it was explosions.
So yeah,
Will Smith's like, what's happening?
So I had that memory in my house.
I completely spaced on that, but I mean, like Matt said, that's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, 8. So I mean, we're getting close to that. So this game got released 8 years after the last movie.
Yeah.
And I do want to point out the next Friday the 13th is in October. So I mean, like I understand people are like, well, why didn't you wait until and release it on Friday the 13th? It's like, I don't think they wanted to sit on this game for several months. They have this thing they like to make called money.
Well, think about it. You could do an event instead of a release. Mm-hmm. So that would be cool.
And I think they'll probably do something on October, Friday the 13th.
All those MMOs are all like that.
And I imagine there will probably be some sale. I'm hoping by that point, as of launch, there is no single-player mode at all. It is strictly online, period. Yeah. They said a single-player mode is coming, but they didn't say when. I'm hoping by the time that, in theory, Friday the 13th event rolls around in October, they will have introduced the single-player.
Because you were talking about like it's one of those things where this game has a lot of different functionality and controls, and you need a safe space. You need a safe space to try to learn how to play the characters.
You know, it'd be funny. I think it'd be a total fun screw over is to have a one player, but it's just you. Looking over the camp. There's no killer. It's like during the day. It's before it happens. In the background, you can see a kid struggling in the water, and like, you can't help him.
It's like, I should go over there and press X to save. Nah. Oh, speaking of X, it seems like this is one of these games, at least on the PlayStation version, X does everything. So
X going to give it to you.
Yes, X going to give it to you. X opens doors. X opens windows. And it's like X picks up items.
But why?
I don't know. It's like you have all these buttons. Don't have an Omni button that does everything, because it gets in situations like, for example, I said you use it to shut doors and barricade doors. Unless you're standing in the right spot, you're just going to stand there with no prompt at all while maybe Jason's trying to get through on the other side.
That sounds like Telltale Games.
A little bit. And it's like I'm hoping that they'll tweak some of that. Sure. Obviously, this is a very early game. This was a kickstarted game, so this is still going to be kind of a work in progress.
You have to be accepting with the errors and the rough.
And plus, this game just launched.
So
I'm interested to see what the final product is, but I'm interested in what's out there right now. I don't know if I'm going to drop the price point. I think it's $40 at launch. It's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not a $60 launch.
No.
Which, I mean, if this was $60, I would outright say no. But the fact that it's $40, I'm considering it. But I'll probably wait until they introduce the single player aspect. Yeah, and server stability.
Sorry, guys, but you need to spend all your money on servers right now.
Yeah, start beefing them up.
That's right.
But from what I've seen, like, this is the most like film to game experience, like 1-1.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, like, everything about this game looked and felt like Friday the 13th movie. So very cool on that aspect.
It might be interesting, just to kind of float the idea out there to think about, are there other franchises or series we'd love to see as like an MMO or a multiplayer kind of a situation? So maybe we ought to think about that. Might be a good debate topic potentially for Thursday.
In theory.
Yeah. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
A little NPR with that thought.
I was going to say, it's like, are we getting ready to toss to like some ragtime music or something?
I want to talk to our friend who's a local author of Cats and Birds.
Cats and Birds.
Sorry, first thing I saw.
All right, I want to transition to movies because we got a big one that came out this week. Maybe the biggest.
Did we?
We did.
I didn't really notice.
We did. It hit the scene. But I want to make this comment really quick. This was a tweet from Total Films, I think was the tweet, and I just thought it was kind of interesting with Spider-Man: Homecoming up, getting ready to come out soon. Kirsten Dunst wanted to weigh in on the franchise, and she said that. Really, she and Tobey Maguire already made the best ones, so she doesn't care.
Oh, really? Wow.
About Spider-Man: Homecoming and.
I mean, you got what you asked for on that. If you ask her opinion, you're going to get her opinion.
I mean, obviously she's a little biased, but at the same time, it's like, do we really care what Kirsten Dunst thinks about
She's
Spider-Man
working on
Homecoming?
Bring It On 17. So.
Whatever, Kirsten Dunst.
I thought we'd already brought it, but
yeah, it's like Spider-Man 1 was good. Spider-Man 2 was amazing. Spider-Man 3 was hot garbage. So, and guess what? That's what your franchise ended on. That garbage note. So no, Kirsten, you did not make the best Spider-Man.
It's your
movies.
fault. It's your fault.
Though I will say,
Topher Grace
the blame
is your
squarely on her shoulders.
yes, all her fault. But it's like, I will say, it's like Spider-Man movies that have come out since then haven't been super great. I mean, there were parts of the Amazing franchise that I liked, but at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't say either one of those were super awesome.
I like them. I liked Garfield as Spider-Man.
He was great as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but it's like I said, there were moments of that movie that okay, this is Spider-Man, but then
other pieces you didn't like.
The Peter Parker part was kind of rough with him, I thought.
Like, I'll be honest, both of the villains in Amazing 1 and 2 didn't do anything for me.
You didn't like Giamatti, you said?
I didn't like Paul motherfucking Giamatti.
And you didn't like old
Rhino.
Jamie Foxx?
I like the concept of Jamie Foxx. I will say that. I thought they did a great job building him and stuff. There was just no reason for him to do what he was doing.
Yeah, he was very just like, I'm going to be evil for plot convenience now.
It seemed like a lot of that movie was cut. Like, there was things we should have saw. So
yeah. I had fun watching them. I will say, if we're talking about that pool, Spider-Man 2 was my favorite out of all of
Spider-Man
those.
2 is great. Alfred Molina as Doc Ock still stands up to this day.
He was really good. But I'm so excited about Homecoming though.
Looks awesome.
It really looks like we're going to return to the fun that Spider-Man should be.
Though I am curious because in the trailers, it looks like his best friend Gangi, the Asian teenager, that's from the Miles Morales Spider-Man. That is Miles' best friend, not Peter. So I'm curious
how they're going to make that work.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just blending to be blending.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's like, I like the character of Gangi.
Yeah.
So.
We almost have to separate the MCU anyway from comics in general. I mean, let's not face the fact that there's 5 different stories of Spider-Man probably currently going on in conjunction. So,
and one of them is the Superior. Yes, Superior Octopus is now out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and it's like, I understand we have to separate the comics from the movies, but at the same time, it's like Marvel is starting to put more and more of their movies into the comics. So it's going to be a little bit harder to do.
Well, now we've got this Venom thing rolling out, which is going to be another universe of the same universe.
Yeah.
It's actually really interesting what's happening because you do see, like, for example, the Guardians of the Galaxy comics that are coming out now, the new Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the I Am Groot and the I Am Rocket. Very influenced by the films. Very, very influenced by the films. And then you see the films pulling things almost directly from like scenes that happened in the comics. So they're kind of influencing each other.
That's a little
back and
handshake
forth.
relationship
Exactly.
there.
Yeah. Little
That's cool,
symbiotic relationship.
That's okay
in the
though. I mean,
comic world.
that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
I want to transition to DC for a second. First, I want to talk about, there was an article that was posted. So this was posted by The Nerdist, and they were saying that the Aquaman movie will take place after Justice League. So essentially, this is not going to be an origin story. And for me, sigh of relief. There is going to be, they said that there will be some flashback, kind of talking a little bit about some origin, which I'm okay with if they do it well. Again, I keep saying I'm okay with origin as long as we do it well. But I really do like, let's get into the meat of it. Let's get to the action. We get so much of these origins. And sometimes it's a little bit, I don't know, it's slow until it starts to pick up to where you get to see your superhero doing superhero things. So I that makes me feel optimistic about the. I mean, I already was because Jason Momoa is awesome, and everything I've seen so far with him looks pretty good. I think he's going to be a little bit Thor-ish, in my opinion, because it really the trailers that I've seen, little clips here and there, even from Justice League,
Brutish
it's like
standoff.
Yeah, he's like a god trying to interact with the world around him, and so he's a little bit socially awkward.
I'm half expecting him to pick up a coffee mug and say another one and smash
slam
it
it down. I could totally see something like that happening. But I think it's going to be good. And why am I optimistic about that? Because finally, as we were begging for, DC hit one out of the park this week. Landon was on the scene Thursday night, and I want to hear from the horse's mouth. Was this movie overhyped? Did we get what we wanted from Wonder Woman?
Well, we talked last week, advertisement-wise, it doesn't feel like it was overhyped, but this is a movie that's been talked about for a long time, and especially in the last few weeks leading up to it, everybody seemed really excited, really hyped for this movie. I can say with 100% certainty, it lives up to the hype and maybe then some. This is the best movie of the year, and it's not even close. It's better than Logan. It's better than Guardians Volume 2. Like, Wonder Woman, in my opinion, like, this was DC Universe's Iron Man. That moment where you're sitting in the theater and there is an origin story, I will tell you, Jay, but it's done well, and the pace moves very well. I think I'm not going to go into huge spoilers because y'all haven't seen it, and I want you to go in and experience it like I did. The opening sequence, like I said, there is a origin story, which I don't have a problem with. But I mean, like some of the action sequences while they're on Themyscira, and I apologize if I mispronounce that island's name.
We forgive you.
I appreciate that. But it's like the action sequences of these like Amazonian women, like these almost gladiator-esque warriors just going to town on each other. Like the action is great. I liked how they set up the story, but like you said, the origin kept it moving along. It never felt like it was a plodding pace, even introducing Chris Pine's character. Like, this movie, I think runtime is like 2.5 hours. I didn't once think, like, man, this is running long. Like it left me wanting more. Even like from opening credit to end credit, I was on the edge of my seat. There is a moment, again, I'm not going to give away huge spoilers, but there's a moment where the Chris Pine character is like, come on, we have to go. We can't help these people because Wonder Woman hears some refugee. It's like they bombed out our village, and those who didn't make it out, they're using them as slaves. And she's like, this will not stand, and they're in like trenches in World War I. And he's like, this is no man's land. We don't cross this. You can't go over there. And she's like, okay. And she does Wonder Woman things, and like that is that moment where it's like just talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a goosebump inducing moment, and it's that moment where I'm like, holy shit, DC pulled this off. Like DC knocked it out of the park on this. This is an A+ movie. I want to see it again. Like this is the first comic book movie that I've seen in a long time where I'm walking out and I immediately say, I want to see this again right now. It's that good.
Wow. That's DC, a big statement.
Don't count them out.
Yeah, like, and here's the crazy thing. It's like, in years past, when it comes to comic book movies, we always talk about how the Marvel Cinematic Universe is where it's at. It's all safe. I would say right now, so far, we've had 3 major comic book movies come out. Marvel Studios has the third of those 3, in my opinion, behind Logan and Wonder Woman. I mean, they still have, we made reference to Spider-Man Homecoming. They have Thor Ragnarok coming. So they still have some stuff coming. But right now,
I got some cards to lay.
Yeah.
This is Wonder Woman's year. And I feel way more confident about the Justice League than I did before seeing this movie.
Yeah.
And it really goes to show it's like, Zack Snyder, maybe get out of the way a little bit. Like this is a DC movie without, Zack Snyder directing it. And it's like, shout out to Patty Jenkins. She was amazing putting this film together. It's like, let her do it. Like I have nothing but the utmost confidence in the team behind Wonder Woman. Now, Zack Snyder did get a writing credit on the story, so he was still involved, but at the
he
same
had to be involved.
Exactly.
Probably to keep it cohesive to what he already had. And I mean, he's already stepped away because of the tragedy with his family and everything. And then Josh Whedon's in there now. Sorry. Juice. Juice. I'm going to start calling him Juice.
Yeah, right.
Juice.
The
Juice Sweden. Juice Sweden. Don't pronounce that. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Please cut that. He won't, but it's fine.
No, he won't.
So anyway, Juice Sweden.
Now I can't because you referenced it.
No, forever. So, he's stepping in there, but I mean, maybe he should kind of step to the side and let lean
on Patty Jenkins.
Well, I mean, the whole Wonder Woman production. I mean, because I'm sure it's not just her. I'm sure there was some people under her and her whole staff and everything. Let them come in there and try to
Well, and it's funny talking on Joss and the whole Juice and the whole Wonder Woman thing. You remember last week when I was telling MRA activists to nail a certain part of their anatomy to a wall because
yes, sir.
I do recall that.
Yeah, I got a little bit of play on Twitter with that. I liked that. Joss Whedon actually weighed in on the whole, female-only screening. Quote, I got to see Wonder Woman by myself weeks ago, so shut up. There's already been a man-only screening. And it's a delight. And Joss is right. This is one of the best movies I've seen in years. It's like, I feel like I say that a lot. It's like whenever I see a movie that I like, but it's like I like Kong Skull Island. This doesn't hold a candle to it. Wonder Woman is the first DC Universe movie that I'm going to own on DVD, Blu-ray the day it comes out.
Nice.
I eventually got around to get Suicide Squad and it was on sale. Still haven't gotten around to get BVS, but it's like Wonder Woman day one it comes out. That is coming home with me because I want to see it again.
Nice.
It's an amazing movie. Go see it.
Here's what I want to do. I want to expand our rating system to 10 because I feel like that gives us more wiggle room.
Okay.
So I want to ask you, out of 10, how many lassos of truth do you give?
Nice.
Do you give Wonder Woman?
9.5.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's huge.
I'll be interested to see Justin. Justin's more of a harder critic on things than we are. We're like, yay!
And like I said, I feel like anytime I see a movie, I'm like, this was amazing. But it's like this time I feel completely justified in like standing by my 9.5, and all the hype that I'm building up around.
You're right there with all the critic ratings.
Maybe this would be a good time to install something like when the DVD or Blu-ray releases. DVD, so old. When the Blu-ray releases, how do we feel about it then?
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
But
well, you give me a lot of hope that this is going to be money well spent when I take the family.
And I know I made reference to it at the top of my rambling. We talked about seemed like the lack of advertisement. I actually kind of felt like the lack of advertisement helped this movie a little bit because it's like we weren't exposed to like all these big set pieces and the like big action moments and like these reveals of these characters. We their hand wasn't tipped in the slightest. So I liked that.
That's what I'd rather have, to tell you the truth. But I mean, I just felt like it didn't get the same promotion everything else did. Don't get me wrong. I wish the norm was that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like we discussed last week, I don't think it got the same hype as BVS. But you know what? At the same time, if you look at the opening weekend number, it might have surpassed 100 million at this point.
I think it probably will.
It was right up on that 94, 95, I think $98 million. So, I mean, the fact that it's even approaching $100 million in its opening weekend, I mean, bravo, DC. You guys killed it with Wonder Woman.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for giving us your rapid reaction on that one.
I don't know how rapid my reaction was.
That's pretty rapid. I mean, it's after opening weekend.
We're still not through the weekend.
So.
Yeah.
So this will drop on Tuesday. I would say that a good portion of our audience hasn't seen it yet. So that's good. I mean,
so good. It was so good.
Don't worry about the Emoji Movie that's upcoming. Just go see Wonder Woman. I know you all were clamoring for the Emoji Movie.
I'm killing myself trying to get there.
Yeah, because we all have to pool our money, and it's like either this or the Emoji Movie.
Yeah. Well, it was such a ringing endorsement when they were like, Sony was like, we're going to put The Dark Tower back a week.
Yep.
Just so Emoji Movie can run unopposed because people need to see this.
Exactly.
Thing.
Yeah, we don't want the Dark Tower's money to be taken from the Emoji Movie.
So there you go.
We live in a very bizarre time.
See this, not that.
Exactly.
All right, Matt, I'm going to give you some love here. We got a couple Star Trek things to get to.
We do.
Yeah. One is the Star Trek Operation Enterprise opened up the roller coaster in Germany.
I watched the videos. There's if you go to our likes and you go to that article, there are some really good reviews. I mean, I guess somebody was just wearing a GoPro through the entire thing of it. It's pretty good. I will say that it's more of a museum and a monument to Star Trek, and it's all Next Generation. I've noticed because they have like huge banners of like Data and Jean-Luc Picard, and and then they've got the 1701D. They don't really talk about any of the other ones, so you're kind of like at the Federation as was shown on Next Generation. The buildings are kind of bland, and you go in. I will say the gift shop looks like somewhere I could just live.
Of course.
So,
that's what they're banking on.
That's what they're banking on.
Always got to exit.
I was like, I want that.
Shop.
I was like, I want that. But the roller coaster looked cool. I'm not a huge roller coaster guy, but it did look fun. I guess you're escaping or going. I think the story is that you're going to the ship, so you're on a shuttle pod.
Oh, I see.
I don't understand why it starts out and it goes up and then it goes back and then it goes forward again to get through it. I don't know if that's a momentum thing, if there's a story a part of that we're rocking back and forth, but it's all corkscrews. Like it's loops and corkscrews. So I guess, which if you watch Star Trek, that's how they evade anything. Evasive maneuvers involve barrel rolls in space, which, it's 3D, but that's neither here nor there. So it looks real fun. The lines that this person went through was non-existent, but I don't know when they went. There's a lot of like monogramming and symbols and stuff all over the place, like flags and banners. They try to make you feel like you're at a Federation building and a recruitment station. They have like the ship set up, and it's got like different graphics of light that play on it. They've got a board cube. They've got costumes. They've got. It looks like there's some interactive screens, but this person evidently did not feel that was in their review or quality of review because they didn't touch anything, and they may not have been working when they went through. So, but there was a lot of stuff going on there. There's a lot of promotion for Beverly Crusher, the doctor. I don't know why. Maybe I was like,
maybe she's huge in Germany.
It's a possibility. Don't get me wrong. Maybe they just all all about her, but good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gates McFadden, great.
Everybody's got to be huge somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure her followers went trifold on this thing, but it looks really cool. I wish there was more to it, but then again, it's in Germany, so I don't need any more temptation to leave this country. So it's cool. I liked it. I think it's a good start, but a lot of people said the Vegas experience was better.
Okay.
So, or more interactive. They didn't say it was better. They said it was more interactive.
Yeah, because what you said, it almost, and you made reference to it, it almost feels like a museum. That, oh, by the way, we have a roller coaster.
Yeah. There's a ride that'll take you to the gift shop.
Exactly, yeah. Drop you off to give,
I'm okay with that.
All the money.
Yeah, and the design of the train actually looks like a shuttle. Yeah. So I'm sure that's what they were going for.
That's what I got from it anyway.
As a roller coaster kind of a nerd, I was looking at some of the stats here, and it calls it a parallel transfer switch launch half pipe. I don't know what a parallel transfer switch is. But
there are 2 tracks.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it comes in on a track from when it delivered.
Yeah, that's probably
from.
what the rocking back and forth is.
Okay.
And then you were talking about the rocking back. So
I will say it has the cargo bay doors. When you go, when you're getting ready to go, the doors open like they do in Star Trek on the ship. It's like, cool. It comes up a cargo bay, and then you go out, and then they close them behind you.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
So that and it's got the noises. It seemed like.
So it really feels like they're
trying.
Yeah,
they really did a great job.
Immersive Star Trek experience.
There was a lot of love that went into this park. I can tell a lot of I want to do something Star Trek, and I want to do it fully. It just I feel like they need to add more interactive stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're interested in visiting this coaster, it's at Movie Park Germany. So I've never even heard of the Movie Park Germany.
I haven't either.
Neither have I.
But that might be something to explore. It looks like it's got. They're building some pretty cool stuff there. So give it a try.
Yeah,
if
you're in Germany.
Yeah.
If
you
just
happen to be in the neighborhood.
You might as well go for...
If you're in Denmark and you're looking for something to do.
Exactly.
You go for Oktoberfest and then...
Oh, man. Hit Oktoberfest first?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Then go on over and
then do all those corkscrews.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Sorry, Picard.
The other nice thing we saw, Comic Book Now tweeted a new Star Trek RPG comes in a Borg cube. That looks pretty cool.
I was on the... I've been on the information pipeline on that one. I have the beta testing the stuff to actually play the game. I just don't... Number one, I don't have the time to play it. Number two, I don't have the people to play it because it requires quite a bit. Looking over the what's in this cube, it's everything you need to play the game. So it's kind of like one of those drop down, get some people, do some tabletopping. And I tried to watch some videos of people playing the beta test and stuff. Let's just say they're less than desirable to watch.
Oh, boy.
So, don't get me wrong. Those people are really trying, but I feel like there is way too much explanation. It's what's going on and what's happening. I'm just like, play.
They probably feel like they need to tell you.
And that's fine. And this
Especially
is beta stuff.
Beta.
I mean, they don't even have that. This cube comes with all the dice, all the games. It comes with 3 sets of figurines, which is TOS, Next Generation, and then Romulan and Klingon ones.
Yeah. So 4, actually.
Well, 4, yeah, but I think the Romulan Klingon is a shared set.
Okay.
Like you probably got 3 and 3 where you've got 6 on the other ones.
Okay.
I think. This is just guessing. I tried to see if it told everybody was in there, but it didn't really give you an overall. But you have all the miniatures.
Yep.
You have, like I said, 3 sets of dice, which is Command, Engineering, and Science. You have 3 adventure books, I think, or maybe it's just 2. I know there's a like the starter adventure, and then there's another one in there. That's what I read. I read it very quickly, but it looks really cool. They've been working on this. Morpheus has been working on this. I think it's what they're called.
It's Modifius.
Modifius. I keep wanting to call it Morpheus.
We're stuck on Morpheus from last week.
Exactly.
Morpheus.
Yeah.
Modifius. They did Conan. They've done. There's another one that a lot of people play, and I can't remember the name of it. Cthulhu. That's it. And Cthulhu's really cool, from what I understand. So. This uses a 2D20 system, which is kind of the way Star Wars works. If you guys have ever played the tabletop Star Wars, which I have, brag. So it's fun. It's really fun. I'm hoping this is really fun because with Star Trek, with tabletop games, in the majority of what I've seen, I play, D&D, brag. And so...
Do you even throw dice, bro?
Brah? You ever throw a D20? But, You develop a character, and then you are that character, and you can kind of, there's a flexibility how you play him and what you do, and it depends on, are you good, or are you evil, or do you have certain qualities about you that you need to, or certain missions within yourself you want to propel. But Star Trek is more of a military type thing. So to be in a game where you're subservient to somebody, I would imagine, because if somebody's commanding your science, guess who's making all the rules? Guess who's making all the decisions? Yeah. So I feel like I wonder how that relationship works on a tabletop game. So I think it would be interesting to see how it's played, how it moves. They haven't given us a number on what that set costs.
See, I was going to ask, just based on everything that is coming.
The miniatures alone,
box,
in my mind, are $50.
Shoot.
I mean, and if they're mini miniatures, if they're full size miniatures, God knows how much this thing's going to be.
Yeah, this sounds really cool, but it also sounds really expensive.
I will say this. I hope my wife's not listening. I will say this.
I've seen the numbers. Your wife is definitely not listening.
She is definitely not listening. She cares not. She cares not for anything that I do in the nerd realm. I had to explain to her that we were talking about our marriage, and she tried to say that she's the captain now. And I said, no, you're not. I said, it's more of a Picard Riker thing here. I said, I don't care to take on the Riker role with the beard. Oh, she was like, who is Riker?
Yeah.
I was like,
Riker?
She goes, I understand Picard. He's the bald guy, right? And I was like, yep.
The most beautiful, well, one of the most, because
he is a magnificent beast. But so's Riker. He's aging well.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking guy.
And I love the Riker step over the chairs.
Oh, yeah, you know what? He was the first Captain Morgan. I'm going to tell you right now.
It's like, Captain Morgan, are you paying attention?
Yeah. Wait, I got to throw this out there because me and my wife have been watching the old Twin Peaks series, and I'm trying to get her up to speed because we want to watch the new one.
Back into that one.
And I noticed that that one of the kids, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he does the Riker step over the back of the chair thing in one of the scenes. Yeah, yeah, he totally.
And this is the
did
old one, right?
The old one.
I wonder if he's taking it to his career in the other parts.
I don't know. I was impressed with it.
Like, I can only imagine he does it in his everyday life too.
Yeah,
well, he's Jonathan Franken it out. So.
Yeah,
but anyway, so I haven't seen the price. I don't know where we're going to land on this. If it's within, I'm not going to lie, if it's within the 70 range, I may pick it up.
Okay.
I don't know who I can get to play it, but I may pick it up. What everything you get in there is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a huge set.
The dice, especially. I mean, it's got all the insignias from Star Trek. I mean, it's really
it looks really nice.
Beautiful
This would be a collector's piece.
That's what, and it says limited edition, so it makes me worry that you don't buy this now, you're going to end up with the old Monopoly blocks looking one.
I really think this is going to start in the triple digits.
I am being so optimistic about this.
Like, homeboy, if it is $60, I will buy it for you. How about that? Yeah.
I'm thinking 120. I'm thinking double that is what this thing's going to start at. Maybe even 150.
Because you mentioned that they made the Cthulhu game. It's like Arkham Horror Cthulhu. I think that thing starts retail for the base at like $100.
Shoot.
So and if
but don't get me wrong, Cthulhu.
I've
heard an adventure.
I've
heard the adventure. I listened to a podcast that played through it once. It's crazy. It's Scooby Doo crazy.
Yeah.
So they do a good job with games. I'm sure they're doing a good job with this. I barely looked through the materials. I need to go back and check my emails and look through the beta, but. I'm all about it. I just don't know that it's in my my pay grade range.
Fair enough.
Cool. Well, hopefully we can pick that. I mean, I'd be down for setting up a game.
Sure.
An old Nerd News Cafe game.
We've been talking about doing some tabletop and stuff.
We could put that. We could bake that part of In Your Face. We'll film some of that. Yep. By the way, we're planning to film bios today, which means if we do that, I can start piecing together our video, and I'll drop that In Your Face coming up very soon. So be prepared. Be prepared. Sorry.
Nice start.
Yeah. So, knowing that we're short on time, we did put the call out this week again to ask people what you were reading, what you were into. Knowing this was Wonder Woman week, what else was going on? What recommendations do people have? We did get a response from a few people. Andrew let us know that he's picking up Secret Empire number 3.
Mm-hmm. I've been talking on that during our Thursday episode.
I know. Landon picked that one up too.
Things are happening in the Secret Empire.
Yep.
Popping off.
Thomas told us he was watching Wonder Woman, and he's also been playing Friday the 13th, as we referenced. And he says,
he's looking for friends, from what I understand on it, too.
Yeah. He said, it's a good game. It has its issues, but it's really fun. The biggest being the server and having enough players. So, and then Andrew gave us a recommendation. He recommends Thunderbolts number 1 and still the Thanos Rising series. Thought it was a good story, great art. Would like to hear someone else's opinion. So, I've
been thinking about picking up the Thunderbolts book, and based on Andrew's recommendation, I might add that to my list.
Yeah. So, and if you guys want to take a look and see or interact with us, vote in our polls, look and see what people are recommending, what we're recommending, you can do that. On Twitter, it's @nerd_news_cafe. We also put the question out on Facebook. I'm not sure. Did we get some responses on Facebook on that one? this week, or did we even put it out there?
We did put it on Facebook. I
don't know that we had enough
I don't
time.
know if we got play on that one, but I do want to, mentioning the Facebook, be sure to find us, search Nerd News Cafe on Facebook. One of our new listeners, Jared, made a comment about how I think it's in Palestine, the Wonder Woman movie is being banned because
Lebanon,
because Gal Gadot is Israeli.
That's right.
It's not that she's Israeli. It's the fact that she was in the Israeli military.
Yeah.
And the thing is in Israel, you have to be in the military, and because they're at war with them, they're not going to show that.
Right.
Movie.
And he was curious what we thought.
I think it was a cultural difference. You know?
Yeah, and it's one of those things. He wanted our opinion on like what we thought on that. It's like I think it's unfortunate because I mean you heard my glowing review on it, but at the same time I understand there's stuff that led to this conflict coming to a head. It's bigger than a comic book movie, so it's unfortunate. But I mean as long as people are staying safe, how about it?
Yeah, that does suck. Just too bad for the Lebanese. They're missing out on a great movie.
They really are.
So. Hey, there's other ways to watch things from what I understand.
Of course. So yeah, as Landon mentioned, we got the Facebook page, Nerd News Cafe. You can also go to our website and check out what we got on there, nerdnewscafe.com, and you can send us emails at our Gmail account, which is nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. So thanks everybody if you interacted with us this week, and keep on doing that. That's some of the most fun that I think we all have is interacting with you guys.
Absolutely.
On the social media and being able to talk about it here. Did you have anything else, or was that about it?
Other than plugging myself, twitter.com/LANDOZ. Shout out to Will Rabb and Tyler Henley for having me on the Sports Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Good job, Lynn.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Hopefully some of y'all were able to listen. Apparently that might become more of a regular thing when I move out to the Middle Tennessee area. So keep an eye on our social media, and I will be sure to let y'all know.
Cool.
You were their wrestling associate.
Mm-hmm. If y'all know me, y'all know I can talk 4 hours on the sweet science of professional wrestling. Speaking of...
professional entertainment, I think
it's sports entertainment.
You corrected them several times.
Yeah, get the terminology right.
So sorry, I'm so behind.
Vince McMahon will come and break our legs.
If he can get here.
No, but that was fun. Shout out to the Eagle Radio. Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Mm-hmm. Anything for you, sir?
I don't think so. I think we said focus, Facebook, you guys can hit us up on there if you have something more than 140 characters. If you don't have subscription to Twitter and you get that extra 6, call back. But, if you guys want to reach out to us, have some comments, want us to speak on something or talk to us about really anything that you feel is the nerdy thing, even if it's stats.
That's right.
You can tell us those.
We like stats.
Yeah, because that is one of our hashtag jams. Stats.
For me, for sure.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, everybody, for listening this week. Make sure you tune in Thursday to the Stir It Up episode. We're going to have more good times on there. And I just wanted to, one ask this week. And that is, if you're enjoying the show, you're having fun listening to us, and you like what we do here, share it with somebody. Recommend it. That's the biggest compliment that you could give us. Let's grow the audience. The bigger the audience, the more interaction we get, the better this show is going to be. So that's one of the best things. Word of mouth, you can't beat it. So that would be my ask this week. I put you to task.
That's right.
And make sure and give us 5 stars in iTunes. How about that? That helps too. That really, really helps.
Yeah.
Don't act like you don't have an iTunes account. Everybody's got one. It's like Social Security number now.
Exactly, yeah. And I have everybody's socials. Oh, wait, you don't mean that. No, cut that part out. Cut that out.
I got that.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to hit the trail, but we will see you again on Thursday. Thank you all. Have a good night.
In transmission.